This is a coaching session with someone running a service-based business who is struggling to delegate and doesn't feel like she can grow because she feels like she's maxed out. I help her break through that, and if you want to break through that, then this will be helpful to you. Tell me a little bit about what you're working on, and tell me a little bit about what you're struggling with.
So, I'm a registered nurse. I own a medical spa. I've owned the med spa for 21 years now. And I work in the business and obviously I run the business. So that's a lot, as you might imagine. I'm also a single parent. My kids are older, so in college or just out of college, but I have been a single parent for the last 17 years. So also a big thing. I own real estate. I am currently doing a yoga teacher training. That's kind of my, I would say, passion project right now, or like my hobby. Um, so I feel like I'm just have this cornucopia of things. And I and I'm having just a real struggle as to what I do next that's going to be again authentic and not only just best for my future, I guess.
What do you desire?
I desire to do yoga, eat good food, exercise, take walks, spend time in my garden, hang out with my dog, my kids, and my family.
So free time?
Free time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what's stopping you from free time?
I think financial responsibilities, obligations.
Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
And is the med spa the primary source of income?
Yes,
Okay, cool. And so are you interested in learning how to build it a little bit bigger without losing your soul?
that would be great.
Would you say that's probably the desire?
Yes, I think the desire is to keep it and own it, but definitely, I don't want to say, I don't want to grow it too big. It's always been pretty manageable.
Hmm.
Um, and I would say my hesitation has not been, obviously it's a control thing, right? When you do everything, you control the outcomes.
Hmm.
So, but in a med spa, it's also liability that kind of plays into it. So this isn't like we're tuning bikes. This isn't a bike shop where the liability is low. It's a bigger liability. So I think that's been my biggest um, obstacle to scaling a little bit. But yeah, obviously that's again my ego probably that I'm tripping over.
Almost 100% of the time when somebody says that, it's ego. And I say it that way just to say like, yeah, this is just part of the operations of figuring out how to get us to the place we want to
Right.
go.
Not offended.
Um, yeah, yeah. And that's great because that's a solvable problem. The way the med spa is operating right now, are you down to share revenue, profit, etc. real quick?
Sure. I really can't give you specific profit numbers at this time, but we do at this point, we're about 1.5 million a year in revenue. But I am the biggest contributor to the revenue.
Okay. Well, congrats. That's a significant accomplishment.
Thanks.
Do you have an approximation of profit?
I would say we run at about a 10 to 12% profit.
Great. Okay, so if it were to remain the same size and become easier to run, would you be good to go?
I don't think that's possible.
So if it were to remain the same size and it became easier to run, would you be good to go?
Okay, yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Because we have to figure out if we need to work on growing it or making it more efficient.
Probably both.
Okay. So if we figure out one of them, then we can do it.
Okay.
Also, usually doing one is the path to doing the other.
They go hand in hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So usually somebody starts making more money when they make it more efficient. or they start making more money and that finances them making it more efficient, right? It works different ways for different businesses, but it's usually one or the other. Like one makes the other one possible. And so if we were to address that challenge, I would start wanting to ask the question, which lever, if I were to fix one of these, would affect the other one more, right? If I made it make more money, would that make it way easier to make it more efficient? Or would that just make it so overwhelming I couldn't deal with it? Or if I made it more efficient, would then that make things, free up enough time that it would be easy to make more money? Or if I try to make it more efficient, that's just like this impossibility. And so I should work on profitability. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think both are possible. I don't
Mhm.
think there's as much opportunity in the efficiency part. We're pretty efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So I think going the other direction more,
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet. I'm going to push on back on that because you
Okay.
came on the call saying that you were maxed out.
Me, but
Yeah.
not all my employees.
Okay, great. Are your employees not maxed out simply because you need more customers in the door? Or is it because you haven't given off enough stuff for them to do?
I think probably a combination of both, but we definitely could have more customers walking through the door or more cross-selling within the business. So they're busier.
Okay, great. Basically, I'm asking just a bunch of questions to
You just
triage,
fire away. I'm good.
right? To figure out we just ask questions until we get to a thing that's like, oh my God, that'll help.
That's the thing, right?
Right? Yeah. So, I'm really interested in this you being maxed out part because you're running a quite successful business, and when somebody's running a business at that level, the subject of the owner being maxed out is a very interesting problem. So, can you tell me a little bit about what responsibilities you cover? And here's my favorite one is what are the responsibilities that people often delegate that you feel that you can't because of XYZ reason.
Okay. So part of it is like the injecting and using the lasers and kind of the actually providing the services, right? So I have offloaded some of that, but to a person who doesn't have as much experience in the industry and is building her clientele. So I have done a little bit of that, but I've been in the business for 21 years. I'm in a rather small town. I mean, I guess we're 80,000 now, but I started my business when we were 20,000. So people come to my business and ask for me, right? So I'm kind of the face of the business. So part of that is that I don't like her. I think her business needs to grow more, like step one, right? So we need to get more bodies in the door to go to see her. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Um, Ask me the question again so I can kind of get back on track.
Oh, you're answering it great.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it sounds to me like there is a component of, uh, people want me specifically. So there's a challenge there. But then there's another challenge of, yeah, it sounds like you would need somebody highly qualified and more people in the door at the same time.
Right. And so there are other things like marketing. Like I had to have my hand in a lot of things that I don't feel like I can just offload either. And it isn't that I'm doing them, but I'm overseeing them. I mean, I still think I run a small business, right?
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
try.
It would be classified as a small business. I think you do need to do two things at once, but the two things are not taking on two hard projects at once. I think the two things you need to be doing is working on making your life easier and working on getting more people in the door.
Yeah,
How would you feel about that?
I think those are two great goals.
Okay. Like I'm cool with multiple goals when they support each other, right? Because sometimes you need to like move two levers in order to get one result. And so if you just worked on trying to get people in the door right now, you would probably overload yourself, because you'd probably be coming at it from the framework of I will take responsibility for these customers coming in the door, because that's how all small business owners survive at the beginning. And so that is the story that they ingrain that then makes the next stage really hard. But if you are thinking, I need to work on my delegation and I need to work on bringing people in, then you just bring people in from a different mental perspective. Does that feel right?
Yeah, that feels right.
And does it also feel like, well, oh my God, that's what I've been working on all the time?
Kind of. And like bringing people on the door is still my responsibility. So,
Totally.
right?
Totally. And making sure that they're delivered a great product or service.
Right.
Totally your responsibility. Like
Yes.
ultimately, business ownership is a game of responsibility, essentially. For sure. But there's a point at which you take responsibility for leaders, right? As opposed to you take responsibility for the, specific result. You take responsibility for the leaders who are getting the results.
Yes.
Okay. So, we're halfway in.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty
Okay.
good. I feel like we've made a lot of progress. We've gotten to the core thing
Mhm.
that you probably have been working on for 5 years, that is the thing, but now we're on the same page about it.
Okay, good.
Great. Okay, so tell me about, um, I want to get one win in the delegation side and in the making your life easier side.
Okay.
So tell me about all your responsibilities as fast as you can.
Oh, for the love. So on the um, patient treatment side, I'm the only one that does some of the services. So there's no one else I can delegate to. So
Okay.
that's kind of like a hitching point. On the administrative side, I do have a bookkeeper and a CPA and things like that, but I still oversee a lot of that. I oversee the marketing. I'm trying actually now to make more videos to bring in more people. So
Sure.
again, it's my voice, it's my face, it's me. Um, I don't know where I can identify that.
Okay, awesome. So, what are the things that consume the most time? I'm guessing taking care of the clients
Yeah,
is a
I would say
significant amount of time.
the patient time. Yes.
Okay. And then filming social media doesn't take a lot of time, but all the other pieces take a lot of time.
Right. The strategy mostly, it is so ever changing because there's different focus for every month and many parts and pieces of people who are helping, like the person that does my website and the person that does the email and the person that does the Instagram and
Mm-hmm.
overseeing all of those things, which is in, like you would say, and that's a few hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
The patient time is going to be the bulk.
Cool. Do you press post on anything yourself? Do you physically press the post button?
Never.
Good job. Glad to hear it. So other people are posting.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, Tell me about the strategy element. What you said that takes up a lot of time. Are you saying you like research and come up with things to do?
Well, I think right now we're kind of in limbo because I've hired people to help us like figure out what to film, how to film, topics to film. And then social media, you have the hook and the this and the that and it's like it's a job, that
It
whole
is.
part of it. And to be effective is difficult. And the fact that I don't ever push post is fine, but I'm also not organically on social media
Mm-hmm.
because I'm insecure about it. So
Mm-hmm.
that I think would actually bring in more people.
You're not organically on social media. Tell me what you
So
mean
it's
by
like
that.
always a curated post. Like I'm not just on stories talking.
Mm, okay.
maybe you don't feel like that's a big lever to move.
It's a big lever, but also I'm not gonna address it immediately because like addressing things that are already like not our strengths is often not the way to win. It's usually find the strength and bear down on that. So what element of social media has given you the biggest wins?
And I'm talking organically to the camera. See the problem
I
here?
do. I do.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
obviously it's just reps, right? It's just
Hmm.
that's the only way you get better at anything. And I totally agree with your philosophy is like, let's not work to our weakness, let's work to our strength.
Yeah.
But that isn't what's moving the lever right now.
Okay. So you feel a ton of resistance about getting on your phone and talking organically, and that would give you big wins.
I feel like that would.
Okay. So there is a solution for that, is you figure out what environment would make you more comfortable talking organically. And so that means for a lot of people, it's a social thing. And so if they just get with a friend who also makes content, and then they get together and for a meetup that's gonna go, okay, we're gonna talk organically to our phones. And then you have the chance to go, oh my God, I feel terrible about this. I feel so shy and uncomfortable, and I think everybody's gonna hate me. And then the other person goes, oh my God, I think so too. And okay, let's do like 15 seconds. Okay, you good? All right, you do one. All right, great. Good job. And then, all right, so I'm gonna do one. Have you tried that type of thing?
No, and I actually have a girl who is pretty very well skilled, very skilled, who I could leverage that. She obviously feels comfortable in front of the camera.
Can I persuade you to contact her
Yeah.
today to make content together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've talked about it again, just something I haven't really pulled the trigger on. And she's available and willing.
Okay. Awesome. So the reason why I let myself go down this rabbit hole is it could be a potentially very valuable rabbit hole for you that if you find a way in which you can create content easily, you're going to create more faster.
Yes.
And so you can do a meetup with a friend and say, okay, we're going to do like 20 things. And now these 20 things are all done. Does
Mhm.
that feel good?
Yeah.
Does it feel doable?
It does feel doable. And I am also eliciting support on the back end of the posting and the cutting and the pasting and the
Hmm.
all of that.
Yeah, because when I hear you say I'm struggling with strategy, I hear you saying I'm struggling with creative resistance.
Yeah, that's accurate.
And because a person who's super aligned actually doesn't spend a lot of time on strategy. Because strategy is often a fancy word for overthinking.
Yeah, also
That
accurate.
that resonate?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the things that you're super passionate about, they just come, you just do them, right?
Yeah.
They come naturally, not naturally, but they come through you
Yes.
in a very authentic way that doesn't feel so much resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And how long have you been in this business?
21 years.
And how long have you been creating hooks on social media?
Yeah, not that long.
How long?
2 years.
Okay, that's a long time. You've had 2 years of practice creating hooks. You know what the hooks are. What you're struggling with now is you're worrying about the hooks. You're not sure if the hooks are right. But the reality is if 10 times more hooks went out, you'd win, even if they were bad hooks.
Yeah, that's true.
And here's the magic of it, is if you did 10 times more hooks, you would then learn about hooks faster.
Yes.
And
But I'm
so,
busy injecting people.
yeah. And so one of the top things that I help people do is I help them start switching from is it quality versus quantity to quantity enables quality.
Okay.
Quantity enables quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I don't get people to create a lot of things because of like all the typical narratives of like, oh, just volume wins. You just have to outproduce everybody. It's not that because a lot of people don't like that because they want to make good things. It's not the right frame. And so what I say is, look, producing a lot of things is how you produce really good things, right? Ed Sheeran gave me one of the favorite analogies that I've seen is with writing songs is like a dirty water faucet. The only way to clear the faucet is to open the faucet as wide as possible, right? And so if you write bad songs, then you'll write good songs. You can't wait and try to write a really good song. You just have to write a whole bunch of really bad songs, and then you start writing good ones.
Yeah, yes.
And that's so hard to do when you're in resistance, when you want to make good quality things, when you're alone in your room, trying to do your own thing, trying to do it right. But if you're with somebody who is in agreement with you of like, oh yeah, our goal is just to make a lot of things, suddenly it gets a lot easier.
It takes down a lot of the resistance for sure. Just focusing on quantity versus quality.
Okay, I think that could super accelerate your marketing is simply figure out how to produce larger quantities of things, not by forcing it, but by making it more easeful for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the win on actually like kind of bringing more customers in the door and making life easier for you because it's way more fun to get a glass of wine and sit down with a friend and make cool stuff than it is to worry in your room.
Or to think about it, like if I could add up the number of hours I've spent ruminating over this one thing over the past, I don't know, 10 years, Instagram's been around, whatever.
Hmm.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of wasted time.
I could try to get you to, find three other unlocks in the next 4 minutes, but the reality is this is probably a core thing that can help you with 4 to 20 other things. Is this concept of how can I switch from thinking hard about doing the right thing to creating a safe environment for me to do a thing more quickly so that I can get to the right thing. And I know this is important to you just because of the verbiage that you used. You came in talking about legality. You came in talking about responsibility and liability. All these really weighty things, all these pressure to get it right things that I know that, yes, that's an issue in your business, but also this is like an emotional and performance component in your mind that's slowing you down.
Yeah.
And there is a reality of liability that's real, but there's also a story of perfection, right? And so if we can find all of the places in your business where you don't have to be perfect and make them flow faster, you're going to accelerate so quickly that you're going to become able to handle all of the places of complex liability. All the time, we find a place where we have to be perfect, and then we connect the dots to all the other places, and we're like, oh, I got to be perfect in all these places.
And it causes so much just like you get paralyzed by it.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
can you, A, make that contact to find somebody who can create content with you to make
Yes.
life easier? And if they say no, then find the next person, right?
Yeah.
And then B, can you, as you go about your business this week and you go about your responsibilities, look at every item and ask the question obsessively, is this required to be perfect? Or is this my story that it needs to be perfect? Because there are things that do need to be done right,
Of course.
and that's what makes us create the story.
Mhm.
But then we have a story.
Right.
Is this helpful?
Yes. Very helpful.
Awesome. I'm so glad. If you'd like to work with me to get better at delegation and learn how to create environments that make you win, go to the link below and fill out the form or go to apply.joshterryplays.com.